Alright, let's see how we do against Emrakul the Promised End. Now, this is a very, very, very rare commander to see, so it's kind of cool to see it. The reason it's rare is there's a few reasons here. Firstly, it's not very good. Watch me get died to it, but also it's just very difficult to discount. Taking over someone's turn that late game when they don't have many assets isn't amazing. We'll see. I mean, and as I said, watch me get absolutely slaughtered by it now. Unless, of course, my Luminarch Aspirin has anything to do about it. I'm sure she's given many headaches with that mace. 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, they're getting there. Nothing in the graveyard yet, but they will have now. Oh, board wipe. They threw a board wipe in the bin. Now, here's the thing. If we do get Teferi out, we can just tuck the key away, which means we take them off. +2 mana. They can redeploy it, though. Forsaken Monument. Oh, crap. Yeah, that is a bit good. That is a bit good. They've got 1, 2, 4 mana. Obelisk. Oh, my goodness. So, we are a bit scared, but we have the River's Rebuke, so I think we're gonna be okay. Fragment Reality, thank goodness we've got another answer as well. So for now we just get rid of the Forsaken Monument to take them off double mana. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're gonna keep smashing, but man, it was close. If we had no interaction whatsoever, they would have had a Guardian moment, but yeah. 6, 7, yeah. We just got really lucky, to be honest. And this is kind of why Emrakul is so difficult to use. But I do admire the courage to wield it. The fact that we're at 22 after we've hit them 3 or 4 times is kind of crazy. Oh my goodness, and a Silex as well. The Silex. That just obliterates everything.
Hurry.
Leisure Shredder. Yeah, I think we're just going to say goodnight to them here. And then we have the Silex to back it up in the next turn, so... Damn, that feels naughty, but yeah. A bit of a weird matchup. I would be annoyed if I was playing Emrakul and I faced Teferi. So this is what I mean. The algorithm, even when we're playing the stronger deck, is annoying because I don't want it to be in a balance for either side. Apparently the game thinks Emrakul is Hell Q. A bit weird. A bit strange. Hello, my name's Josh, and my job today is to troll the Hell Q. We're going to do that by using Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. It's a pretty old card by now, but it's one of the original top tier decks. It just absolutely dominates every single format that he touches. This is a pretty cool art you get from first playing Arena when it first came out. It's a long time ago, but essentially the build I've gone for is very different from what you normally see. For a start, there's not a single counter spell. I want to kind of make that the thing about this channel here. I want to prove you do not need counter spells to win. It's an absolute myth. And also, we've kind of made it very, very aggressive. Now, Azorius does struggle to win, so I thought, why not flip that on its head and include actual creatures in the deck? You can see in the deck we have 28 creatures, which is incredibly unusual for a deck like this. People will not see this coming. People will be very confused when you start playing 2-mana 1/1s, which have very slight upside. But stuff like this is just going to be indicative of what we're trying to do. 2-mana 3/1s, essentially. Cathar Commando can deal some damage as well. Apparition hits and lets us proliferate. Warhound is a 2-mana 3/1. Luminarch can make stuff bigger. Skrelv's Hive gives us a lot of small bodies on the floor. So if you can sneak some of these early aggression things in, I think you're going to be winning quite a lot of games, considering as well that you're probably going to be facing a lot of Teferi mirror matches. So just so you're aware, that has to be a disclaimer. If you make this deck, you will be in Hell Q, 100% Atraxas, blah, blah, you know the rest. But this deck is designed to kind of go underneath the radar, go underneath their expectations and wipe them out. You know, you can see there's not many big drops on the end, and I literally just won a game with 3 creatures and a time warp because we just had an extra combat step essentially and defeated them. And let's see how we do. If you would like to support the channel, because I'm doing you a great service here, I'm trolling the people who want to crush you all day long, and I'm going to try and crush them for you. Support by like and subscribe, which is completely free, or follow the donation links in the description below. But let's see how the gameplay today goes. Okay, facing Ragavan, but we do have a few creatures that can hopefully help us out here. Now Ragavan going first as well, pretty brutal. They're going to gain a lot of advantage by doing that. Okay, we've already got removal spell, so we've probably won the game now. Especially when, wow, they've got Hangabout Walker in the deck. That's optimistic for a deck with such a low curve. They can still dash it for 2 mana, I think. That doesn't increase the command cost? Yeah. Fervent Champion. So the deck's just going to be lots of small things. Not too worried about. I think Thalia is going to be a pretty nice defensive blocker here as well. The first strike is going to be pretty good. Makes their haste stuff come in tapped. And then if she dies, we also have the Sun Titan to bring her back. So this is a pretty nice little recuperation tech here. Doesn't synergize with our commander, but synergizes with a lot of stuff in our deck. Field of Ruin, Ragavan, okay. We have the kill spell here. I'm actually not going to do Thalia anymore because they're probably going to kill it with a kill spell. I would rather just kill the Ragavan and stop them gaining the mana from this. If they do have a lot of big Planeswalker effects and stuff, I just want to stop them ramping. I want to stop them stealing our cards as well. It's going to be pretty useful. If we do draw a 5th mana source next turn, it's tempting to go for Teferi, but again, they probably have loads of ways to kill it. So maybe the Thalia will be a good way too. Again, I keep drawing things that make me change what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to go for the Wandering Emperor instead now. And they did not crack the clue to draw a card, which I find very strange. Unless they want to save this for some other reason. Arnie Broken Brawl. He has haste. So we can probably use the Wandering Emperor to exile him, to be honest. Just to save a bit of damage coming through there. We actually gain 2 as well, instead of losing 3, which is nice. If they kill it in response, we don't gain the 2, I think, because it would fizzle, but no, okay.
My judgment is final.
And also, nicely, we can put counters on our creatures if this survives. Putting a counter on the Geist would mean that they're going to really struggle to deal with this. This has got protection from multicolored. Interesting. So I think we still go for the Geist, only because he has he has X-Proof. I could have gone on Thalia to block the Stonecoil Serpent, but I feel like this is a lot safer. Like, how is Red actually going to deal with this Geist? Especially with a counter on it now. And yes, they could kill the Wandering Emperor, which they do. But they could have done that on the... I guess that 2 damage wouldn't have been enough to kill Thalia, but... And they can't finish this off with any lightning bolts or anything, so yeah, we've got a fantastic defense card here. Although they didn't attack, given that this has protection from multicolour, which is a bit unusual. We really do want to hit a land. Especially for the Urza Silex. If we can actually deploy the Silex, that's going to absolutely wreck them. And also, if they're using lightning bolts on Teferi and stuff, it's good. So they choose to sack the clue now, which is kind of not... It's not very mana efficient whatsoever to do that there, but maybe there was a reason. And now we have a flash creature that can actually block the Stonecoil, everyone, or even block the Ragavan if they choose to dash that one in. So it's a bit sad we're not hitting our natural lands, but not much we can do about that. We're even drawing extra cards. And somehow they've got more lands than us, being a mono red aggro build. If they do somehow kill the Geist and we draw extra land, we can get it back with the Sun Titan as well. So there's a nice little bit of redundancy built in there. They're going to go in with both. Now, if they have Ember Cleave, this is going to be pretty annoying. Fire Prophecy. So they don't have Ember Cleave. So they're just going to do the 3 damage there. And also, they drew an extra card. Which means we get to draw an extra card as well. That is interesting. Cool little freebie there with a random bit of upside. So that was really, really worth it with the Fire Prophecy. We can only block the champion because it says Pro Multi. If they used a Field of Ruin here, they're really just... Have they really got nothing better to do? I mean, they can just play the Bone Crusher, which would probably be a much better move, I think. But honestly, I really think we have supremacy here. We can just go for Sun Titan, replay the Fairy Mastermind from the graveyard. We have a bounce spell as well. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if they can come back from this. Sun Titan is just an absolute relic of the past. So powerful. And I think we're actually going to attack. If they want to trade a Crusher for a Geist, go for it. I mean, think about it this way. Their entire deck is aggro, right? If we get rid of the aggro, what element do they have to attack us with anymore? So, you know, that's pretty happy about that. It's just a Stone Core left. Burning Sun's Avatar. 3 damage to opponent or planeswalker. And 3 damage to up to 1 creature. Okay. They're gonna destroy that. Again, we have Sun Titan, so we can just bring it back with 1 attack here. That's we really just we'll have them on the ropes, don't we? So again, trading a Titan for a dinosaur, I'm perfectly happy to do that. Go for it. We can get back the Geist as well. Like, there's so many things we can just do here. I mean, we could even bounce the Sun's Avatar back if we really want to, but I think trading is fine. Getting rid of their 6/6. Go for it. And how many lands do we get down to? 6. So playing 6 is fine. Yeah. So now if we really want to, we can literally blow up everything. It's nice to pull a bit of aggro because I'm not going to try and resolve this at any point anytime soon, but they might look at this with anxiety, thinking, well, there's no point in actually deploying anything now. Phoenix. Okay. I mean, absolute props to the opponent for sticking around. I mean, I don't really know what else they can do. Especially now we've got Basri Ket. Applying even more pressure. I mean, don't forget we have a bounce spell for the Phoenix, so I'm really not that bothered here. I think we're just going to swing in with both. Who's the aggro deck now, boy? Blocking here feels very strange. Oh no, it's got protection. Yes, okay, fine. That won't die. Why didn't they block that? Protection means they would have taken 0 damage. We might as well just get it for everything. I mean, we are at risk of losing everything to a board wipe that, deals X damage to every creature and planeswalker. That would be pretty devastating, to be honest. Bounce this to their hand. So yeah, this is the power of tempo, guys. Sometimes you don't even need to kill things. Just bouncing it can rapidly, take them off blockers. The Thalia here is doing an incredible job. Considering that, as I said in the deck tech, Teferi is a control finisher, you don't always need to... You know what, I'm actually going to throw away the rebuke because the Loran would have killed one of the things, but yeah, damn. They saw the writing on the wall, and we did a pretty good job taking them out. A mono red Ragavan deck. I'm going to quickly interrupt this video to tell you this video is not sponsored, and because of that, the channel does need help from people like you. So if you do want to support the channel in your own way, you can like and subscribe, which is completely free. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can donate to the channel via my Ko-fi link below, or become a channel patron. And if you become a channel patron, you can get a custom video of your choice. Check out the details below. Okay, interestingly, I have gone through about 3 or 4 games, and well, I basically had to quit because most of them were just Rusco or some other thing. And also I went first 0 times in the last 4 games. So it just feels a bit weird sometimes, the stacking against... do I even want to go for the Rift? I think we'll go for the Ram, but yeah. Sometimes it just feels like the game is very against you as a player now. I mean, I've played this game for a while now. You've all seen, you know, this has been an issue for... Many people have told me this. But... yeah, it's just unusual, essentially, to have these problems still. The game doesn't seem to have smoothing in the way that... What I'm saying by that is, like, in an ideal world, you should, in essence, go first and then go second, you know, sequentially like that. That would make the game actually perfect. And there's nothing to say that that could not be designed in that way. Because, think about it. Why isn't it that way? Why isn't it, I'm going first this game, the next game I'm going second? And it's perfectly logical reasoning to implement that, because somebody would be on the inverse of that. And with so many players, it wouldn't be unreasonable to be able to expect that. You know, it's just a strange thing to not have programmed, basically. So 5/6 ethereal armor, that could be problematic. Let's block it with this. They have 1 green open, which I'm thinking, is it hexproof or... Let's find out. I mean, if it is hexproof, then we lose to Teferi, maybe? I have a feeling it is hexproof, because why would they do that? Why would they leave it undefended? That's strange. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, in an ideal world, players would go first, then second, first and second. Can anyone see a problem with that? Programming-wise, algorithmically-wise? I think the biggest argument would be like, yeah, but you'd have to guarantee there's always someone that is meant to be going first or second. But there's so many players, surely you can arrange that. And surely that's a lot more enjoyable than always going second to 4 games in a row, which does create a bad feeling. It doesn't matter who you are, I don't care if you're a mathematician, a physicist, scientist. It doesn't feel good to keep going second, especially in a format that essentially depends on going first to get an edge. If this was a 4-player format and I wasn't going first, it wouldn't matter, but because it's 1v1, it does become an issue. But yeah, I'm in a good spot here. I've got Dream Trawler, Norns, Fetchlings. It's a shame this is tapped, because I would have liked to be able to block the Sithis. We've got a lot of redundancy here. The Rift overloaded. Banishing Light, what's that going to hit? Teferi? That's fine. So we're just going to leave them there. Because we have the Rift and River's Rebuke and stuff. Kenrith's Transformation as well, blimey. So Sithis is essentially a Selesnya Storm build. Now with so much mana, how much is the Rebuke actually going to do? It's a tricky one. Probably should have played that first. Alright, let's rebuke, because they're getting annoying now. They've got a lot of annoying assets we need to take care of. Do they have a way to respond to this for 1 white mana tithe? I guess mana tithe would be pretty irritating. The fact they only have 2 white mana is interesting, though, because it's going to take them a while to deploy all these things. They can play at maximum 2 of these permanents on the field, unless they deploy another white source. I'm just hoping this isn't assault pause. We don't need assault pause every video, do we, guys? But apparently, my enemies seem to think that. It's not even like they're going to die. It's just going to be bounce to hand and let them draw even more cards. Surely that's good. We don't have lethal on board. And they're in a fine position here. 32 life is more than the starting total. So this gains you life as well, just to add to the draw, which makes her kind of kind of crazy. Yeah, it looks like we've got a salty player here. Okay, so the players decided to come back to the realms of the planet Earth and continued to play. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful to be joined by an actual player who wants to interact with me. It's nice, isn't it? Down to 26, which is still higher than life total you start the game with. And yes, I keep misplaying Port Town. I need to get Port Town out. Why do I keep doing that? The reason I played that is because I wanted to have 3 mana up in case they did go for the Authority first, which not the Authority, sorry, the Paladin class first. So yeah, but yeah, realizing the Port Town would have actually just come and untapped anyway by revealing the basic. That was a silly billy move on my part. And it turns out this player was just being a prick, basically, and just, you know, absolutely wasting my time. Anyway, come on, man. JDTP218. Why do this? Why do this? Here we go. This is a really good test. Can we defeat Atraxa Grand Unifier? Let's see what we can do. I think we'll go for the Vantress first because we don't have an island to make this come and untap. So doing it turn 1 is perfectly fine. Halfling. Okay. So next turn we can actually already go for Charade, which I think is an absolute hidden gem. Much better in a flickery build, but comes in, taps a creature, puts a stun counter on it, and you draw a card. What more could you ask for? And we have a Fragmentize. Wow, okay, we are hitting some really good things here. And then in the following turn, we can also use Fragmentize to maybe kill the Ornithopter. We actually have a really good starting hand here. The whole deck is just going to be ramp. This only taps the colours for Legends, so we'll see. They're already... Oh, damn, they have so much mana already, though. 2, 3, 4, 5. If they ramp, they can get to 6. If they resolve Atraxa, it's going to be interesting, to say the least, because Teferi's solution to problems is tucking them away a little bit, putting them to bed. Please don't be search 2 lands. Rusco. That is quite annoying. But again, we do have solutions here. Let's kill that. Kill the clock. So yeah, Atraxa deck's basically ramp, ramp, ramp. I really, really need a 5th mana source so we can go for the Might Stone to kill one of their other guys as well. But yeah, that Rusco there was really irritating because it was 1 card that created 2 threats that we had to deal with. And it would have been really nice to have dealt with one of these other ones, but yeah, it's a shame. Atraxa is definitely a big bad. ECD. Gonna go for the Skyclave. Okay. Fine. We have a legendary creature, which is great. So let's kill the Ornithopter. Unless they have a protection spell. Okay. 5 mana. So we've done a lot to just remove their ramp. But yeah, it's getting to the point now where it's going to be pretty tough. 6 mana, 7 next turn. Do they just have counter spells? Let's try and resolve Warhound to give us some mana. Because we keep missing it for some reason. Let's go for Boromir, try and protect the team from a wipe or something. Sadly, we're not facing Itali. Against Itali, Boromir is really, really powerful. So what are they going to do? Make an Exile Charade, or... Fair enough. I'm not really
almost sad to
able to stop that. This can give indestructible to the team, but that's about it. But yeah, the Atraxa deck is basically just all the good stuff. Everything is just kind of copy paste from EDH Rex best cards. Depending on what they actually top deck, I may quit, to be perfectly honest. So let's just see what they get. Because the whole point of placing Atraxa is if you can't stop her coming out. Yeah, this first hit, we're about to see what they get. If it's just innocuous stuff, I mean, they've got an Omniscience. We can actually look here, can't we? Kaya, Omniscience, Growth Spiral, Meat Hook. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's very obnoxious. What do you guys think? Would you quit at this point? Although they... And they got to put counters on it as well with the Wandering Emperor. Okay. So what do we need? I don't really know.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
I'm not too bothered about blocking that. They're just hitting us at too many angles now, really. If we have a board wipe, what's that going to do? Because they've got the Kaya to exile the Teferi as well. Let's just see if we can tuck her away. I mean, how much time does that buy us? Probably not much, to be honest. And then we're going to try and swing it into the Emperor here. So they're going to actually get rid of the mana to block. Feels like a strange block, considering they have Omniscience in their hand and they just got rid of their mana rock. Yeah. Okay. But again, I mean, they've got the Kaya, so they can deal with Teferi. But we can just replay Teferi. Growth Spiral. Yeah, the thing is, blocking our Warhound with their flyer there, the Wanderer was going to die anyway. So there was kind of no point in trading with our guy, unless they just want to take 3 power off the board, maybe. Okay, Signet. Okay. They're going to get rid of the Boromir and they're going to attack with the 4/4. So yeah, this random 4/4 is kind of annoying. Yes, and then obviously they can play 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give Omniscience next turn. Dream Trawler. I don't think there's much we can do here. We don't get any more removal. They can just go for Atraxa one more time. So yeah, we'll just see one more sweep of cards. What do they get? Or they could just go for Omniscience first. But then they can't go for the Atraxa because it's only cards in hand is free. So you can see that just how much value they're getting by they're not actually working for it. It's just you play a card, get 5, and yeah, there you go. It's crazy. Okay, so Omniscience comes down. I wonder how good their last 2 cards are here. If anything at all. I mean, they could just be lands. Could be kill spells. They know that Dream Trawler can get hexproof. The difficulty comes in here that if we don't get rid of Omniscience with Teferi, then they're just going to play Atraxa next turn and then play all this off for free. So, okay, they've got their own Teferi.
Sorry I'm late.
Huh. So we're definitely going to give it hexproof. And if they do have another kill spell, which I feel like they might do, because they're looking at it, then we will discard the Monastery Mentor as well. Okay. How do I feel about that? Yeah. We saved something that can help. I'm pretty chuffed about that, to be honest. Do we want to kill the Kaya? I think we probably want to kill the Kaya now, don't we? Because the Teferi can only just draw and untap, but the Kaya can exile stuff. If you know what? If it wasn't for the commander, I wouldn't actually be that worried. I know that sounds crazy, but Azri Cat, we're going to gain life. But sadly, I think we do have to just go for Teferi and then minus on the Omniscience just to stop them playing the cards for free. I mean, I can't believe I'm still alive, to be perfectly honest. Well, here's the annoying part. The Atraxa comes down and it can get Omniscience again from the top. So yeah, Teferi is a pretty bad matchup against this. It really is. But they only have enough mana to just do the Atraxa. So if we get some removal, it might be good. I'm very regretful about this 4/4 taking down all the stuff. But that's the thing about Skyclave Apparition, the effectiveness of it is weighed down by the fact that they get something back. So yeah, it's definitely a bit risky if you're playing Planeswalkers because you just lose the assets very fast to a 4/4 that randomly comes in. Is that their hand? It was even not even that good. They got a Shieldred and an Omniscience. I mean, at this point, the Omniscience doesn't even... The Omniscience doesn't even do anything. That was such a terrible miss. The thing about Atraxa decks is if you're not putting in the diversity, you're not going to get... You're just not going to hit the types on top. Dark Ritual into Shieldred. Yeah, that is annoying because that's pretty crazy because now we're going to start losing 2 for every card we draw. But, I mean, let's face it, the writing was already on the wall here. Seven. So at this point in time, I don't even care about the Omniscience. I care more about the Atraxa on the field, which is annoying again, because if you kill her, then you can just cast her again. So it's a very difficult one. What can we do? Counter. I suppose we can put a counter on Dream Trawler, attack, draw a card, see what we get, and then probably die, right?
We succeed or fail as one.
5, 6. So we attack. Basically, the only way we can get around is if we get like a removal spell now. Stun Dismissal. I mean, that's a removal spell. Please don't have a counter spell. Wow. So we lose the life. We kill the Teferi, though. Unless they have something to say about it. Yeah, this is the thing. Bounce against Atraxa is just really, really bad. Joint Exploration. A hilariously named card. Especially if you're having friends over for some fun activities. Gaining even more. kill the Teferi. And we go to 20.
This is hardly my work.
Seems good. And then I guess we'll just leave the port town in hand in case they have any removal. I'm certainly running rings around them at this point. I just can't believe they haven't won yet. But yeah, to be honest, now they can, because Omniscience into Atraxa, yeah. This should be the final turn, I guess. So let's see what they hit with Atraxa. If they miss again, I'm going to be very confused here. Just play Atraxa. Who cares about casualties of war, man? I know what you're going to do. Just play Atraxa first. What is the point? At this point, it's just kind of like... I don't really know what to say. They've basically won, but it feels a bit insulting that they had to do that first. Because if you just play the Atraxa, show me what you're going to get, and then I'll just quit. And then you can go off on your merry way and enjoy the rest of your days. Not even that worried about those. Although, what's at the bottom end? Murderous. Yeah, they've got 2 now. They've got Cruelty. Cool, I'll call that a game. Got absolutely destroyed there, but what can I say? I did my absolute best. I think in any given chance against another deck, I think we would have done pretty well. But yeah, I don't need to say why I lost that. We all know how powerful Atraxa is, don't we? Okay, we get to go first, but this hand is very tap land heavy. But it does kind of make up for it by having a Brawl's expertise to bounce lots of stuff. Yeah, I think we want to go for the tap lands first. Castle Ventress, Interesting Study, and I hope this gives us a few cards. They are playing mono green, which means they probably have quite a bit of removal. Bushwhack gives them a basic. Not too worried about that. They haven't actually ramped yet. Could go for Mindstone first, actually. And then we can even flash in the Fairy Mastermind to block the Allosaurus Shepherd. Beanstalk Giant. I think I'm fine with that. Although that we don't have anything that can be that counters, killing something that makes all their stuff 5/5s is pretty good. They're not actually attacking. That's suspicious. How do they know? How did they know? We'll go for the Hawk here. Give ourselves a bit of ramp ourselves. It's a real shame that we didn't hit that naturally, because we could have played the Teferi there. But now we're going to have to deal with Nissa. We do. The thing is, we do have Brawl's expertise, so we can actually just bounce some stuff back. So I guess it's not too bad. Meet Spellbinder. I think we just get rid of the Nissa for a small while.
Time is much more
Let's see what they do with it. Do they keep her on top of the deck? Oh man, if we had a way to make them shuffle, like destroying one of the lands or something, would be pretty funny. So we know she's coming. Druid class. Play initial land on each of your turns. Okay, that's going to be pretty crazy with... Do we just trade? I think we just trade. I'm happy losing that. That seems fine. Let's draw. Do we get a land?
hold that thought.
No land. What is going on here? We could kill the Druid class, I guess. I want to go for the Spellbinder for a few reasons. Firstly, it's got 3 power, which means he trades with the 3/3 they're going to make. A Shire's coming down. That's going to be annoying as hell. Yeah, we'll just use this on the Druid class. Slow him down a little bit. I don't know why the game keeps stifling our land drops. It's kind of annoying. We have the, we have 40. Interesting.
Keep up the pace.
get lost. We have another way to kill her, which is really quite good. And we have Basriket and Rhystic Study, which is actually a really nice couple of cards there, because now we can power up the Esper Sentinel. Wow, we actually just... I'm actually surprised by that. I mean, next turn they could have gone for the Nissa, have double mana, attacked in with a 3/3, would have forced us to block. But yeah, I mean, they didn't see our hand, but it kind of felt like they knew what was coming. I think the Teferi is just demoralizing by himself, and that was probably the main reason they quit, really. But they did have the Allosaurus Shepherd as well. I don't know, I think they should have played a little bit longer. I don't even think I was that oppressive. I didn't counter anything. I literally blocked and played a few things. So maybe it's a combination of Rhystic Study, though. Rhystic Study and 2 Walkers, I think that's probably what did it, isn't it? Okay, so how do I feel about Teferi? He's very, very powerful. The thing that makes it feel weaker than it should be is the fact that you're always kind of facing things that are meant to be in LQ or things that the game thinks should be in LQ. So that's where the real problem lies, the difficulty in the opponents. I guess it's fair and balanced, but the thing about powerful decks these days is the queues are just, they're so boring because the opponents you face, they're just all the same opponents. They really need to just make true random, because currently, with the current system, it's powerful versus powerful, or weak versus powerful, or powerful versus weak, right? So you got 3 different modes: evens, odds, or odd matchups. Sorry with the weird terminology. Yeah, you're basically facing something stronger, something weaker, or something roughly the same. If you made it true random, you'd get that anyway. So I don't know why they have an algorithm to start with. It's just bizarre. If you go to play Magic in a shop, no one's going to put you in a physical queue. Right, you're going to sit, Josh, you're going to sit and face Tim. Sam, you're going to sit and face Lee. You know, it doesn't work like that. So why have they done it artificially? It feels really weird. And you could argue that it's a way to balance the format. But there is no balance, because if you look at the rankings, most people are using the powerful stuff anyway. So what difference is it going to make by making it random? I actually think by making it random, you'd actually face more diversity. But anyway, that's another conversation. The deck in itself is very powerful. As you can see, you don't need any counters whatsoever to win. That's the main thing I want to prove. I've probably proven it many times before, but let's keep proving it to stop people making counter tribal. What makes this interesting, obviously, as I said in the beginning, is just the curve. It's just inverse of what a normal control curve would be. And I'm trying to essentially reduce the toxicity of control decks overall, slowly, very, very slowly. My channel is very, very small. But maybe if enough people see these videos, they might think, oh gosh, I've just been wrong about Azorius the whole time. Don't need counters. You still need removal, don't get me wrong. You just need different kinds of removal. You don't have to counter everything as well. I think counter tribal actually makes people worse players, because people just end up countering everything, but that isn't the right thing to do. You have to counter the select things. And it might not feel like it's the wrong thing to do, because if you're playing 1v1, you're only ever seeing the demise of your opponent. But in multiplayer, 4-player, that's a very good test of character and play strength as well, because if you're just using your counter spells to counter the next player, then player 3 or player 4, whoever, you know, they could resolve something really strong. So you have to really be cautious what you counter in 4-player. It's a very different ballgame, but playing 1v1 does give you a good foundation for playing other formats, which I think I'm trying to do with the channel. I'm trying to be informative, teach you just different ways. You know, it's a very different mindset playing control to playing aggro. You have to be lenient with some things. You have to let stuff go. You have to be willing to take your life to 1, or even less in some cases with Phyrexian on life. You have to get your life low sometimes to really bring out your inner control player. You're not a control player till you've won at 1 life. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, this deck does that really well. And it handles itself pretty well. I think you'll enjoy using just a different style. But, you know, the caveat of you will be facing stupidly powerful decks. Lots of Ruskos, Atraxas, blah-de-blah. But you know that already. We all know that. That's just the way the game is. I'm trying to get over that and be more positive and just have a positive approach to the game compared to maybe my earlier videos where I just got a bit more annoyed. But yeah, I'm trying, guys. So if you want to copy the deck list, it's down below. You know what to do. Give it a go. Support the channel, like, subscribe. It's completely free. And if you want to throw some money at me, you can do via Ko-fi, via Patreon, Really helps. Wizards haven't seen me as a person, as a creator. It's pretty crushing, really. You know, I played this game for like over a decade, 12, actually like 14 years. So, and I played Arena for like 3 or 4 years. It must be 4 now. Yeah, I think it's about 4. So, you know, maybe one day Wizards will just see, oh, he's a good creator. But until then, I'm basically by myself. I'm just a small fish in a gigantic pond. So any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for everyone who is already a supporter. It means the world to me. And hopefully we can get some more channel members and supporters. Cool. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.